As the President explained in Canberra, the overarching objective of the United States in the region, and this is an important statement I'm about to make here, I think, is to sustain a stable security environment and a regional order rooted in economic openness, peaceful resolution of disputes, and respect for universal rights and freedoms. To pursue this vision, the United States is implementing a comprehensive multidimensional strategy, strengthening alliances, deepening partnerships with emerging powers, building a stable, productive, and constructive relationship with China, empowering regional institutions, helping to build a regional economic architecture that can sustain shared prosperity. These are the pillars of U.S. strategy, and rebalancing means devoting the time, effort, and resources necessary to get each one right. Here's what rebalancing does not mean. It doesn't mean diminishing ties to important partners in any other region. It does not mean containing China or seeking to dictate terms to Asia. And it isn't a matter just of military presence. It's an effort to harness all elements of U.S. power: military, political, trade, investment, development, and our values. The United States refuses to reward bad behavior by North Korea. The United States will not play the game of accepting empty promises and yielding to threats. As my former colleague Bob Gates has said, we won't buy the same horse twice. We've made clear our openness to authentic negotiations with the North. In return, you've only seen provocations and, unfortunately, extreme rhetoric. To get the assistance that it desperately needs and the respect it claims it wants, North Korea will have to change course. Otherwise, the United States will continue to work with its allies and partners to tighten national and international sanctions to impede North Korea's nuclear and missile programs. Today, in fact, the Treasury Department is announcing the imposition of U.S. sanctions against the Foreign Trade Bank of North Korea, the country's primary foreign exchange bank, for its role in supporting North Korea's weapons of mass destruction program. Anyone who doubts the President's commitment needs to look no further than Burma, where new leaders have begun a process of reform. President Obama's historic visit to Rangoon is proof of our readiness to start transforming a relationship marked by hostility into one of greater cooperation. Burma has already received billions in debt forgiveness, large-scale development assistance, and an influx of new investment. While the work of reform is ongoing, Burma has already broken out of isolation and opened the door to a far better future for its people in partnership with its neighbors in the United States. And as President Obama said in his speech to the people of Burma, we will continue to stand with those who continue to support right, democracy, and reform. So I'd urge North Korea to reflect on Burma's experience. A deeper U.S.-China military dialogue is central to addressing many of the sources of insecurity and potential competition between us. It remains a necessary component of the model we seek and is a critical deficiency in our current relationship. The military-to-military relationship between the United States and China just lags behind the economic and political and diplomatic relationship that we have, and it needs to be corrected. This is a point that I've made to my Chinese counterparts on a number of occasions, and we continue to press. You can't have a comprehensive, positive relationship and not have the kind of military-to-military kind of deep dialogue that is necessary. The United States will do all it must do to protect our national networks, our critical infrastructure, our valuable public and private sector property. But specifically with respect to the issue of cyber-enabled theft, we seek three things from the Chinese side. First, we need a recognition of the urgency and scope of the problem and the risk it poses to international trade, to the reputation of Chinese industry, and to our overall relations. Second, Beijing should take serious steps to investigate and put a stop to these activities. Finally, we need China to engage with us in a constructive, direct dialogue to establish acceptable norms of behavior in cyberspace. We have, for the last 3.5 years, worked with our partners to increase the pressure on the Iranians, to make clear what the choice is, to try to sharpen the choice, and to get this to a point where we can have a diplomatic solution. We still believe there's time and space to have a diplomatic solution to this problem, and we would hope to do so.